DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is called Sell to the Buyers. And this is a concept that I've heard it before, but it's a great concept that I heard somebody give a great analogy of a couple weeks ago. And before I get to that, basically I want to tell y'all what it means. Sell to the buyers basically means if you got something that you want to do, you want to get people involved in, or even if you are as literal, if you actually selling something, don't waste a whole lot of time talking to people who are not interested in what you're doing. So let's say I was building up a team. I wanted to build a basketball team. And I stop the first person I know and say, yo, I'm putting together a basketball team. You trying to play? And they say no. I got two choices. Should I stay on the phone, try to convince this person and argue with them and get them all the great reasons why they should play on my team and change their mind from that no answer? Or should I say, all right, you don't want to play? Cool. Hang up and call the next person until I find somebody who says, oh, you got a team? Yeah, I definitely want to play. And put my energy into the person who's interested in actually playing. Which one should you do? And all of you, if you think about it, when I put it that way, it's pretty simple, right? If somebody's not interested in buying what you're selling, and when I say buying and selling, of course, I mean those, it could be literal, but also figuratively speaking. So buying and selling could be an idea. It could be somebody just getting on teams with you. It could be somebody helping you out. It could be somebody buying, like actually buying. Let's say you selling candy bars. Somebody just wants to buy it. Somebody don't want to buy your candy bar. You ain't gonna sit there and argue with them why they should spend $1 on your candy bar. Are you? That don't make no sense because you ain't gonna make no money arguing with them. All you gotta do is go to the next person because they might want to buy 5 candy bars. But if you waste time talking to the person who don't want it, all the time you talking to them, you got all of these potential customers walking by because you wasting time trying to sell to somebody who ain't buying. So one of the stories that I heard, this was actually probably like more than 10 years ago, this guy was talking about this membership service he was selling. And he was like, number one thing I had to learn about this business was that everybody is not going to buy this membership. And he said he was working at a cell phone store. And y'all know in the mall where they got the kiosks with the cell phones and stuff. And this is back in like 2002, 2003. He was selling cell phones at the cell phone kiosk. And if any of y'all remember the malls back then, like 10 years ago, if you walk past the cell phone store, those dudes wouldn't let you walk by without trying to strike up a conversation, right? They try to talk to you like, yo, what kind of phone you got? Yo, you trying to get such and such for free? Yo, I can get you a better bill. Yo, I can get you a better phone than that one you hold in your hand. They always try to strike something up with you. And one day this dude, his name was Tony, he said, I was working at one of them cell phone stores. This woman walked by. Of course, I stopped her. I tried to talk to her, get her to change her phone. And she started telling me why the phone she had and the service she had was better than the phones that I was selling. So he was like, I spent like 45 minutes debating and arguing back and forth with this woman because we was both idiots. She was arguing with me even though she ain't want the phone. I was arguing with her even though she ain't want to buy it, but we both just wanted to argue. So we argued for 45 minutes about whether my phone was better than the phone that she had. 45 minutes later, she didn't buy a phone. He didn't make no sales, and the whole time, all these potential customers is walking by because I was spending all this time trying to sell to somebody who wasn't buying. And the analogy that I heard a couple weeks ago, this guy was like, it's just like when you're on a plane. Any of you ever been on an airplane? I know how the flight attendants come by with the cart with the drinks. So they got the pretzels, they got the little snacks, they got the water, the juice, the soda. They come by to each row. They say, hey, you want something to drink? Some person says no. Do they argue with you? They try to convince you to get something to drink? No. You said no. All right, next. You want something to drink? They said no. Next. You want something to drink? They said no. Next person. You want something to drink? Yeah. That person wants something to drink? We're going to give them something to drink. They're going to give them some water. Next person. You want something? Yeah. You want something? Cool. If you don't want nothing, is no, go right on to the next person. So it's the same way that a lot of us in life, we get caught up when somebody tells us no. Because a lot of people have a strong emotional connection to being rejected. And people are very afraid of rejection. People have that fear of rejection because people see rejection as failure. So if you want to ask somebody something and you think that they might say no, a lot of times what do? We delay, we procrastinate, we don't get around to doing it. We spend a whole lot of time bullshitting, doing a whole bunch of other stuff because we're afraid of somebody telling us no. But if we were able to do it the same way that a flight attendant does, you want some water? You want some water? You want some water? When somebody says no, you just go to the next person. It's like it didn't even happen. Because worrying about the person who says no ain't going to make you no money. Again, this is figuratively speaking. So even if I'm talking about, let's say I'm putting together a business team. I just opened the store and I need some employees. I'm going to go outside and say, yo, you want to work in my store? No? Next. You want to work in my store? No? Next. You want to work in my store? Yeah. All right, come on in. I'll tell you how it works. So we're not going to worry too much about the people who say no. Whatever you got going on, whatever you need other people involved in, sell to the people who are buying. Talk to the people who are interested in what you're doing. And if you ask enough people, eventually, if what you're doing makes any type of sense, eventually somebody's going to be interested in doing it. But stop wasting your time on the people who ain't interested, because all you're doing is losing money, losing time, and you wasting your energy, because you could be talking to somebody and spending that time talking to somebody who's actually interested and is going to help you further whatever it is you're working on. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.